All right, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Tony Talks. Hope everybody's enjoying their quarantine. So we had the NFL draft over the weekend, and I decided it'd be a good idea to have my buddy Ronnie on to do an NFL draft recap. So that's what we did for about the first 45 minutes, and after that, we kind of, talked about a renaissance and all types of crazy shit. Make sure you give him a follow at Ronnie Media on the gram, and also make sure you give us a follow at Tony Talks 8 on both the gram as well as the Twitter sphere, and also Tony Talks 8 podcast at gmail.com. If you want to send in anything, besides all those fucking dick pics, get the fuck out of here with that. All right, here comes the intro. Here comes the episode. Go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you next time.
Brand new start of it in old New York.
So how's it going? How was your weekend? Did you watch the draft?
So we're in right now, right? I assume.
Listen, we're in.
We're always in.
We're taking the red pill. We're taking the blue pill.
Okay.
We're just taking all the pills we could get here on Tony Talks.
We're just taking pills.
Yeah, bro, that's what we do here. Take pills first, ask questions later.
That's right.
First off, bro, let me
yeah.
start with this. When the draft started, Dr. Fauci on the fucking thing, when all I want to do is get my mind off the coronavirus.
I said the
For
same
the
thing.
first 20 minutes.
That's funny because I said that to my father. I said the same thing. I said, I said the whole point of this is to not think about everything that's been going on for the past, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. And, for 3 hours of escape. And that's the whole point of even what the NFL was saying. And then the first thing they did was remind you of everything that was going on.
And the first 20.
Yeah.
And then throughout the night, it's instant reminders. They're like, and just so you know, they got they should just leave it like.
Oh, they did it all the time.
Just put it scrolling on the bottom.
They kept saying it over and over. Yeah, it was annoying.
When I saw Dr. Fauci,
I know.
I was about to jump out of the fucking window.
I know. It was it did wind up becoming an escape though. I thought it was I thought it was done really well. Honestly, I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I never really sit there and watch the draft. I usually watch the first few picks, watch my team. I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a Dolphins fan, so we basically had the whole draft. I had a lot to watch. No matter what the circumstances were, but it was entertaining.
It was great. I
thought
thought it was
entertaining than usual.
I never watched the draft like that. I don't know if it was because of the circumstances or the Jets had a decent amount of picks too, and then we kept trading to get more, and it was really it was probably my favorite draft. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was my favorite draft in a while.
And I liked all the guys that we got too, which helped. But
who, the Jets?
Yeah.
I didn't think they did that great. I didn't think they did that great in the draft. I didn't think they did that great in the draft. So I got a list of teams who I thought did pretty well in the draft. I'd say the Broncos, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Bengals, the 49ers, the Browns, the Colts, the Vikings, the Eagles, and the Bucks.
You don't think the Packers did good?
No.
I thought the Packers had the worst draft.
Packers had a terrible draft, but they didn't have the worst draft.
Who do you think of the worst draft?
The Saints only had 4 picks.
The Saints only had 4 picks. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, no matter – they have a 25% chance of hitting on one person. I mean, I'm sorry. They should be able to hit on one person usually in the draft. That would mean that they would have to hit on 25% of their draft picks is what I meant to say. So that's like a hard thing to do is basically my point.
They got a pretty good consolation prize with what do you think, Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston?
Right after the draft.
I mean, he's not going to – it doesn't matter. He's not going to matter. That's what I think of him.
Did the Patriots draft a quarterback?
No, they didn't. But I did see a great joke about Jameis Winston that he'll fit in with New Orleans right away because he spent the last 5 years throwing passes to Saints players anyway.
Oh, yeah, they play in the same division.
Yeah.
Well, that was so they were kind of like
So you brought up the Packers. Let's talk about the Packers.
Yeah,
what do you think about them getting Jordan Love?
I don't have an issue with. I wouldn't have had as big of an issue with them getting Jordan Love if they did something else. They've got a power. They got like another power back with their next pick.
Yeah, but they needed it.
But they got Jim fucking Williams.
Always hurt.
And they got what's his name?
Always hurt.
Jones.
Their running backs are always hurt. But they never play together because they're always hurt. One's hurt, then the other one's hurt all the time. Receivers, they need receivers.
They didn't draft any.
I know. They need receivers. They haven't drafted a skills position on offense in 15 years.
They should have.
And then not. So my problem is not only did they draft a quarterback, right? That's fine. Right. Like the disrespect there is that they traded up. Like
when they drafted Rodgers, they didn't trade up to draft Rodgers. He just fell to them.
Right.
So it's different.
But the timing also made more sense. This guy just threw for 4,000 yards.
They were one win away from the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean,
even if their defense got ran all over in the 49ers against the 49ers.
But that whole team, the whole Green Bay Packers team shit the bed for the first 3 quarters of that game.
Yeah.
They came out scared. They didn't want to play. It wasn't
still one win away with Aaron Rodgers as
right.
Back.
Right. I agree. He's got a couple years ahead of him at least. I mean, he's going to be around for a while. I don't get it. I could see drafting a quarterback in the late rounds and alluding to. Do you know where I'm going with that?
Yeah. What do you mean? Allude to the Jets?
Nope. Somebody who drafted a quarterback late didn't need one right now, but I love the pick.
The Colts?
Jake Fromm to the Buffalo Bills in the 5th round.
Yeah, but they might need one. They got Allen.
Right. They just got Allen. But Allen was hurt last year a little bit. He was getting banged up because he kept getting hit. He ran the second most times behind Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you knew that last year.
I didn't know that, but he runs a lot.
Yeah. So it's also good because you bring in another young quarterback. It's for future competition. It's kind of almost similar to like what the Redskins did when they drafted RG3 and Kirk Cousins, except that was in the same draft. But I also think that part of that, they came out and said we had no intentions of drafting a quarterback at all. But Jake Fromm in the 5th round we thought was way too good to pass up. I agree with that. I thought he was going to go somewhere around the 3rd or 4th.
He was on the board for a while.
I also think that part of that was also to block the Patriots from getting him because I kept saying it from the 2nd round that the Patriots are going to wind up with Jake Fromm, and that would have scared the shit out of me. But I like that the Buffalo Bills got him. I think that's a good move for them. I know they're in my division. I think the Patriots. I think they have a really good football team. I think they're going to be one of the surprises. I got a couple of surprises that I think will come in this season, and I think they're one of them.
Bro, the Patriots passed on a few quarterbacks over.
Passed on every quarterback.
When they traded up with the Jets, we traded our third. I think it was one of our 3rd round picks for 2 4th rounders. I was like, they're going to take a fucking quarterback with this pick. It's going to be the Jets pick, and it's going to be the next Brady. Whoever, if they drafted a quarterback when they traded up for the Jets, and when they didn't draft, they drafted like a tight end. I was like, and it was the 2nd tight end. I was like, thank God, because I did not want the Jets pick after we brought in Brady with the mobile
right
to rein in the next Brady with the Patriots.
No, it would have been terrible. I think what Tampa did for him was pretty good. They got him some offensive linemen, some running backs. They got him another receiver. Probably not really for him. That's more for the future. I mean, I think he needs the O-line help. He needs the running back help because as of right now, like there was a joke that I saw online after Gronk signed, and it was like it's the last few seconds left in the Superdome. You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it's my headphones.
Okay.
I hear you. That was just coming in a little bit.
He said it's the last few seconds left in the Superdome. Tom Brady's drops back, throws to Gronk.
I saw you post this.
Gronk
I know
catches, touchdown, Saints win 31-17. And I think that's very similar to how the season's really going to go because as of right now, you're talking about a 42-year-old immobile quarterback who wasn't mobile when he was 24, okay? And
against behind one of the worst offensive lines in football, coming from a place where all they did was protect him for 14 years or however long he played there.
Right.
And that's 14 years. Yeah, right. I wish. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I think. I think as of right now, he's going to get the shit kicked out of him. I don't care who his receivers are. I don't care about Gronk, Evans, Godwin, or O.J. Howard, because as of right now, Tom Brady is not going to have enough time to consistently get the ball out to those guys.
They do have good receivers, though.
They have great receivers.
They have
two of the top 10 receivers in the league in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Godwin could be a number one on any team. O.J. Howard is a good.
I think Godwin's the number one right now. I think Godwin's the number one on that.
Godwin looks like he did come out as the number one at the end of last season, but that was with Jameis throwing the ball. Jameis just throws it wherever Jameis throws it. I mean, there's a reason why.
Apparently, when he had he had to get corrective eye surgery.
Yeah, whatever his problem is, I really don't care.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're talking about a guy who led the league in touchdowns and is now a second or third string quarterback, depending on how you look at his role with the Saints.
He might. I think that's a smart pick for the Saints, in all honesty.
Yeah, because he replaces Teddy behind them. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's a good move for them. I don't see anything wrong.
He replaces Teddy, but he could replace Breeze.
He's not going to replace Breeze.
So you're looking at this. I'm just looking
I
at
think that the Saints have played against him enough to know that he's not their future. They played him 2 times a year for the past 5 years. They played him 10 times. They've seen him enough to know that all Jameis does is throw picks.
Yeah, but if he had eye problems and he's that talented, and
eye problems, arm problems, because he can't throw a football at the right team.
All right, let me switch to the Jets real quick, and then we'll talk about the Dolphins. Why don't you think the Jets had a good draft?
Why don't I think the Jets had a good draft?
Yeah, let me hear from your fucking biased perspective.
It's not bias.
It's actually I have every reason to believe that you're a shill.
You have every reason to believe that I'm a shill. I'm definitely not a shill. Listen, I keep it real. You know that. I just don't really like what they did. So full disclosure also with anything that I'm talking about with the draft, I don't watch college football. I'm not a college football guy. Okay. So I more looked at, and besides that, even people who do know college football, most of the time,
it's a hit and miss.
It's about filling needs, and that's kind of the way I went about looking at it. And
okay. And you don't think the Jets filled needs? Let me hear.
No, not really. Not really.
Why not?
Dude, they drafted an offensive lineman in the first round. Okay, fine. Their defense needs what do they need? Linebackers, right?
Pass rusher. They need a pass rusher. They didn't get draft.
Okay,
any.
Right. So they didn't draft any, right? They drafted one edge rusher in the third round.
Yeah, the guy from Florida.
Right. I just don't like the draft. I just don't like the draft. They drafted a running back in the 4th round. They drafted a quarterback in the 4th round. It's just like weird plays. Like you're not looking to get starters at those positions. You're not getting a starting running back in the 4th round.
They don't need a starter. They need somebody to spell
Who's their running back? Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. They have so much money invested into him. Of course he's going to be this.
What did he do last year?
The team didn't do anything last year.
He's got a split time.
They had no line. They had
back at this point in his career.
They had no line. And
they still don't. He's a 50-50 back in his.
They have a line now. They got to get McBecton. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Mekhi Becton. I believe
see you have it in front. Yeah, that guy looks amazing.
All right, great, but I don't know. I don't like it. They drafted a punter in the 6th round.
They got the next Shane Leckler.
What's the point of them drafting a quarterback?
Because we averaged less than 8 points a game last year when Darnold got hurt. You need some type of insurance, and it's not Trevor Seaman.
You could have just had Jameis Winston.
Maybe
Come on! The Saints just signed Jameis Winston as a backup. You're worried the dude would launch the ball down the field for a backup? I think Jameis Winston is an awesome backup. He could learn. He could not be so panicky. You know what I mean? Like there's things he could work on as a back.
I think Winston probably he was probably looking for a place where he could potentially start at some point, and with Breeze,
He's not ever going to start in New Orleans.
Okay, but
never.
But okay,
unless Drew Brees dies this season.
If he started, whether that's true or not, one of the things he was probably looking for was a place where he can potentially start.
Yeah, because he's delusional.
And he could potentially start, but if there's a situation where he has a better chance of starting in New Orleans than New York. Because Brees.
No, I disagree with that.
How would you disagree with that? Donald's going
to because there's 100% more chance that Donald gets the plug pulled out from. I did plug and rug saying I mixed them. I mixed them both.
Rug the plug on Donald.
They're not going to pull the plug out from underneath them.
But Jameis Winston.
Yeah, they would. Absolutely. A guy who started in the league already? Yes, they would. Dude, Adam Gase and Sam Darnold will both be gone within the next 2 years. Quote me, write it down in permanent ink.
You said Adam Gase and who?
And Sam Darnold will both be gone within 2 years. And that means maybe by the end of this season, maybe by the end of next. But by the end of next season, the 2021 season,
I know you can't see
over.
him, but his eyes are popping out of his skull right now.
They always do, though, because I got big-ass eyes. You ever see Bad Boys 2? I'm like that fish. Nice fucking fish. Big fucking eyes. You never saw that?
I don't know. I've seen it, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking
about. Good scene.
About.
It's a good scene.
People
listening know what I'm talking about.
I hope. Look, they have to prepare as though he is going. Whether he works out in the short to medium term, long term, whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
As the quarterback, they have to do everything they can to put him in the best.
Right. Right.
And to draft. And
what would be great competition?
And to draft and act as though he is going to be the long term solution.
Dude, and if he's drafted a quarterback from FIU in the 4th round.
The key hits and every.
What's the point of it?
I think it's going to be good.
It's a wasted pick. If Donald is your future, listen to me. Okay, no.
They never backup quarterback. That's not a
listen. I'm gonna take it the same way that you just put it. Right? They have to proceed as if Donald is going to work out and be the franchise. Correct?
Yeah. Hold on.
Then you put competition with him, not a 4th round pick from FIU that is not going to threaten his job.
How do you know that? How do you know they didn't?
Because because just the fact that he's a 4th round pick from FIU, he needs to do even more to prove himself to even threaten that job.
How do you know that he wasn't somebody that they marked? Because a lot of teams had, and I saw a lot of good. Yeah. I didn't know who he was before the draft, but he got a lot of good reviews after the draft.
I'm sure he did, but it's about the investment.
How do you know they're like maybe we?
If he was a 2nd round pick, then the investment is high enough where he will threaten his job. But he's a 4th round pick. Maybe. He's your second 4th round pick.
Maybe they look at him like he's a 2nd round talent.
Then they're wasting their time with Donald because Donald isn't even a 2nd round talent.
Oh my god. Okay, how do you think about Tua Tagovailoa, the video
Tua Tagovailoa? You put some respect on my quarterback's name.
Tua T.
We just call him Tua. I just call him Tua. So wasn't a fan of him going into the draft. Wasn't a fan of the pick when it was made. I would not. So there's a couple of different scenarios. I wouldn't be upset if we drafted a quarterback also next year. I also wouldn't have been upset if they passed on him and really just tried to build a core of a team, which I think they did even with drafting him. I think they had an excellent draft. I mean, 12 draft picks, it's hard to miss. Yeah. 12. Yes. They have 12 and they traded one. They traded their last pick.
They got a tackle in the 1st round. That was good.
Yep, they got an offensive tackle in the 1st round with Tua.
More line help in the 2nd round.
Yep, more line help in the 2nd round. They got three offensive linemen in total, 2 guards and a tackle. And one of the guards actually can play tackle also. They said that they can plug and play him.
It's like they have too many picks because they got somebody from every position.
I know, it's crazy, dude. A lot of people were saying they liked the Jason Strowbridge, the defensive end from North Carolina in the 5th round. People were saying that they thought he was a 3rd round talent. I kind of liked him. I didn't know who he was, knew nothing about him, but I liked the last pick, Malcolm Perry, the hybrid like wide receiver, running back, quarterback from Navy. Think of Taysom Hill.
I've read something about that.
So I like that. And then, the big draft day trade for Miami, Matt Breida for a 5th-round pick. I like that too. Now we have Jordan Howard and Matt Breida in the backfield. 2 guys that recently
that's good.
Showed flashes, but had a little bit of health problems. If they could both stay healthy, I think Howard is going to have more health than Breida.
Breida's underrated. Breida's like one of the most underrated.
Yeah, I think Breida's underrated too. I had him on my fantasy team last year too because I thought he was going to wind up stealing the starting job, and he did, and then he got hurt, and San Francisco just had too many running backs for anyone to even compete. So now he's in Miami. I like that. I mean, dude, I think they've made some great moves. I think their draft was awesome. I mean, with 11 picks, you got to hit, right? I mean, it's just math. You got to hit on a couple. So I'm happy about that.
In reality, the one that matters more than any other one is the one you don't like.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I don't really understand too is that I don't, and it's not that I don't like Tua. I before the past couple of years, I've been saying I didn't think he was going to be good in the NFL. Everybody's saying he's like a generational talent. We'll see. My biggest concern about him is the hip and the ankle, and you know what I mean. So
is next year Trevor Lawrence?
Yep,
that's the guy.
I know that's what a lot of people are looking at. I think the Patriots might be looking at Trevor Lawrence, or the Patriots might be looking at. I think they're going to wind up with Andy Dalton or Cam Newton.
I don't know who they're gonna end up with. They can't. I don't think they should go into the season with Brian Hoyer and fucking Jarrett Stidham.
I think they can absolutely go into the season with Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer is his 2nd time there. He knows the offense. He knows how to play for them. He knows the franchise. He knows the system. I don't think Brandon Hoyer would be a bad quarterback for them. I don't think any team. Sorry, real quick. I don't think any team besides Buffalo Bills in the AFC East has a chance to win more than 8 or 9 games.
The Jets are going to win the division.
No.
Dude.
No. The Jets are going to win anywhere from like 4 to 7 games. The Dolphins will win anywhere from like 4 to 8 games. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm sorry. No, because I had said this before to my friends. I think I said the Jets will win anywhere from 3 to 7 games. The Dolphins will probably win anywhere from 4 to 8 games because I think they could go 500 if they have a really good year. And the Patriots won't have more than 9 wins, and they could have as little as 4 wins. Come on, go ahead. What? You're laughing? What?
Yeah, I just love how you said the Dolphins is 1 game better on the low end and one game better on the high end of that.
Because I think that they have more potential.
What do you think about the Jets as safety or DB? Because he plays both safety and.
Yeah, I don't really know him. Like I said, I don't really watch college, so I don't really know. But if you want to go there, I mean, look at what Miami did in the offseason. They signed Byron Howard, one of the best corners in the league. We already, Byron Jones. We have Xavier Howard. We have maybe top 3.
They had to get Rashad Jones.
They still have Jones right now.
Oh, I thought they were getting rid of him.
Yeah, they probably are. That's why they drafted a safety this year. They drafted Brandon Jones from Texas, who looked really good in the 3rd round. One questionable pick I did have for them, because I was saying that they just signed Byron Jones. They have Xavier Howard. We have maybe one of the best cornerback tandems in the league. But I don't know how to say this guy's name, the cornerback from Auburn, the 3rd pick in the 1st round that they had, Noah Igbenone, something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand it. He looked pretty good. He looked kind of small. I just didn't really get that pick, taking a corner in the 1st round. Maybe it was the best available thing.
That's one of the strong. That's like with the strengths.
Well, right. That's one of our strengths. But I think the only explanation that I have heard, which I think came from one of the analysts on ESPN, was that all the young quarterbacks in our division. So you got to load up on secondary. If the cornerbacks pan out, you got to be able to defend them. Yeah. I mean, we got a D-end. We got an outside linebacker, so it looks like we're looking to rush the passer. I love that we got a defensive tackle from Alabama. As much as I hate Nick Saban because he's a piece of shit scumbag, Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle from Alabama in the 2nd round, I think is a great pick.
And one thing I want to say about getting the pass rushers and the edge rushers in the later rounds, that they usually don't pan out in the later
It takes longer. I feel like it takes longer because a lot of times nowadays edge rushers and some outside linebackers are they're smaller. They're more like hybrid, like speed type players more than what they used to be, like a middle linebacker or an outside linebacker, like a big guy, So I feel like these kids, when they come into the league, some outside linebackers, mostly defensive ends and edge rushers, they come in a little undersized, and it's not for any other reason other than their age and, that it's a 22-year-old kid compared to a 26-year-old that's been working out in the NFL for 4 years. You know what I mean? So I think they just take a little longer to pan out.
I want to use that point against you for Darnold too, because Darnold was 21 when he came in. His entering his third year. He's as old as Baker Mayfield was during his rookie year now.
So what?
I think he came in a little early. Maybe he didn't have a little young. His body's still growing into being an NFL player. He had mono made out with some broad.
Yeah,
we've
hope
all
it was
been
a broad.
there.
He's seeing ghosts.
Seeing ghosts. The fuck?
How do you defend that? How do you defend that? First of all, the NFL should not have aired that.
Yes, that's case. That was
agreed.
Bullshit. That's ridiculous.
Agreed. They shouldn't have aired that. Have aired that. But it's seeing your quarterback say that and act that way and be that rattled should make you very nervous. He's still an NFL quarterback, and he's sitting there dazed and confused going, I'm seeing ghosts.
I don't think you should be able to use that at all because you don't know what people say on the sidelines. The fact that they aired that when he was mic'd up is fucking ridiculous because guys may say similar shit all the time. We'd never fucking hear it. Scumbags at ESPN.
I don't even, was it ESPN? Oh, yeah, it's Monday night game, I think.
Fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, that's funny. But, yeah, I mean, listen, I love what the Dolphins did this whole offseason. Kyle Van Noy, they signed, linebacker from the Patriots. Jordan Howard, now paired with Matt Breida. Byron Jones, paired with Xavier Howard in the backfield. I hope they keep Rashad Jones. I like him. He's one of the leading tacklers in the league almost every year.
Yes.
Yeah, he's every year he's been with the Dolphins.
I like him a lot.
A couple of maybe 2 years. I know at least once he finished with the most tackles. He's always up there in tackles. He's one of the best safeties in the league. He's completely underrated as far as like general NFL fans go. Like they don't really know. He's not a household name like that, and he should be because his talent's good enough. Yeah, I mean, I just really like it. I just really like what they did. They did more offensive line work in the offseason with free agency. They signed Eric Flowers, who when he was with the Giants sucked. I'm not that big of a fan of Eric Flowers, but I forgot what team he was just with. But they moved his position. I believe he played tackle with the Giants, and now they moved him inside to guard. And he had, like, for the past 2 years, I think, wherever he was, they just talked him up, and they said that he's become one of the better guards in the league. I'm still not personally a fan of Eric Flowers. I think he's going to wind up hurting us because I don't like him. We'll see. I hope he doesn't, but maybe the move inside helped. And Shaq Lawson was a great pick. I'll take Shaq. I mean, Shaq Lawson's never going to be like a 15 sack guy, but he's always going to be a plug and play guy, a defensive end. I'm happy with that. Emmanuel Ogbah too, defensive end from the Browns. Very happy with that one. Another guy that you could put in there, and he's not going to play every down, but when he plays, he can make a difference.
I think having a full roster with depth, top to bottom, is probably one of the most important things that you could have.
And I think that's one of the stepping stones that Miami's building. We still have 2 years left in the plan. So
is Tua going to start immediately?
Nope. Well, all right. So the plan going in,
say no, and then they end up. The rookies have been starting a lot.
Well, he's a little different too because the plan going into the season for him, he just got cleared a few weeks ago. The plan going into the season for him was generally that any team that drafted him was basically going to quote redshirt him for a year because let him heal up from the injuries and all that. But now doctors cleared him. Obviously, team doctors cleared him. The Dolphins said that they had their medical team look into him and everything. So now they're projecting that he is going to be healthy before the start of the season. I don't know what that really means. I don't think they should start him. I don't think they should jump into it. We have another like 10, 11 picks next year, 2 first-round picks next year. I mean, I'm not somebody who
They have 2
roots,
first-rounders next year too.
Yeah, I'm not somebody who roots to tank.
Whose pick do they own besides their own?
I forgot. I'd have to look back
Steelers?
at it. They've done a bunch of trades and picks have gone all over the place, so I'm really not sure.
That's
But
good.
yeah, like I'm not somebody who like roots for tanking. I'll root for them to win week to week, but in the grand picture of things, if starting Tua and if keeping Tua healthy and losing games makes more sense, then I'm all for it. And I also still want to see what Rosen's got. I don't think he's ever gotten a fair shot.
I think they should start the season with him.
It depends how camp goes and everything, but I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't think he's gotten a fair shot. He was drafted by Arizona for one of the worst coaching staffs in the history of football. They were fired after their first year. Rookie head coach, rookie staff, all that. They were terrible. Every single one of them was let go. He then is traded to Miami in the middle of the draft, you know, and then he's playing for different offenses. He hasn't had a chance to settle in. I don't know if the talent's there or not.
They kind of did him a little dirty in Arizona too.
And Miami kind of did him a favor by giving him a chance. They had nothing to lose, and neither does he. And I still think neither party does. I say right now, Fitzpatrick's the starter. Give Rosen a chance to beat him out. Keep Tua on the bench. That's what I think.
Fitzpatrick, I can't believe he's still playing.
Yeah, this is probably going to be his last year.
This got to be his last year.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the CD Lamb at 17?
That
was the big surprise.
Yeah, I didn't really think he was going to go that far. I don't really like anything else the Cowboys did, though. Their draft was all right. You know who I think? So I said the Bills earlier that I think are going to be really good this year. Yeah. Another team that I think is going to be really good, and I think the only place that they're hurting is the quarterback position, but they're not going to go away from who they have. But their whole team is awesome. The Denver Broncos.
I know.
Dude, they're stacked.
I like the Broncos. They're going to be fun to watch. Drew Lock played good.
Drew Lock played all right. Who did they just get at running back, too? They just got a beast running back to pair with
Melvin Gordon.
Yep. To pair with Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. Are you kidding me? And they drafted, I think, 1 or 2 receivers this year. They have Cortland Sutton, who's awesome.
The receiver from Jerry
Jeudy.
From Alabama.
Jerry Jeudy. That's right. They got Jerry Jeudy, who's supposed to be awesome. They got Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant last year, their tight end. Their defense is really good. Von Miller's a year older, but the defense is still really good. I mean, I
like the Broncos.
They're a dangerous team. They're a dangerous team. The Bills too. The Bills got Stephon Diggs.
Oh yeah,
huge. They helped out their O-line. They got Stephon Diggs. They plugged in some defensive pieces. They're going to be good too.
So the Vikings traded Diggs and then they drafted a receiver. I don't like it when teams do that.
Why?
Because aside from it being economical,
that's it.
I know, but to me, it's like if you needed the receiver, you're gonna have to pay. If this guy's anywhere near, you're gonna have to pay him Diggs money anyway. If he's
because then you do it again.
And I keep doing it.
They paid Diggs once, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
think so. I'm not. No, he's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the league that long. He's still.
Nah, he hasn't.
He's still young, but
yeah, I'm not sure. What about the 49ers giving up Matt Breida? They gave up who's the other one they traded? Damn it. And they got Trent Williams.
That was a good deal, getting Williams.
Yeah, the Trent Williams deal was really good for them. Somebody retired. Oh, Joe Staley retired on them. And then they wound up getting Trent Williams. And they did a trade, too. Who did they trade for? Oh, they traded Marquise Goodwin to the Philly.
Oh, that's what I drafted the receiver there.
Yeah.
That's
what they did.
The kid from Arizona State.
Which, I mean, listen, Philly drafted a receiver too, and they got Marquise Goodwin. And I love that they drafted Jalen Hurts. Let's put some pressure on Carson Wentz now.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too crazy about that deal. About that
good move. I think it's a good move. The kid can't stay healthy, And when he is healthy lately, he hasn't been playing that well. So you know what? Now it's
they got
stay
me,
healthy and play well, not either or.
They made the playoffs with me running out there playing receiver.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Basically.
But they got the kid from TCU. They need a receiver desperately.
What about the Ravens drafting Dobbins?
Oh, yeah.
That completely threw me off. Honestly, I thought that because the Miami had the pick right after them, I thought that if they didn't, I didn't think they were going to draft him. I thought Miami was going to take Dobbins at that pick, and they wound up taking him, and I never saw that coming. Honestly, that makes no sense to me at all. I don't understand. You have Mark Ingram, who's awesome in that offense. Lamar Jackson, all he does is run the ball.
Ingram's a little bit. The thing I'll say, Ingram's a little bit older.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to do it though. I don't think you needed to do it now. You know what I mean? Or maybe not now, but I don't think you needed to do it at that pick.
Right. Yeah, maybe they could have. Because the thing is with running backs,
I would like to have grabbed Dobbins. I was going to be really happy about that.
What about the Chiefs?
What about him?
Clyde Edwards, the kid from LSU.
Who's that? I gotta look it up.
I'm pretty sure that was the first running back taken.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, because they needed a running back because they lost Charles.
Yeah, but he's supposed this. I don't know much about.
Yeah, he's supposed to be really good.
Really good.
And now the NFL is going to be interesting this year. So I was even thinking about it. So now think of how many teams have a quarterback issue. Not many.
Let me think. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Not many.
I was going to say the Colts, but they drafted somebody too.
They have Phillip Rivers, and they drafted. I'm sorry. Did they get Hurts? No, they didn't.
No,
get
they
Hurts.
didn't get Hurts.
They drafted.
Hurts went to the Eagles.
Who did they draft? Damn it!
Did they draft? What's his
name? I
name?
feel so stupid right now.
Did they draft the kid?
Yes.
Eason? Jacob.
No.
Eason? Where did Jacob Eason end up going?
Well, I can't believe Herbert. Justin Herbert. That's who they took.
No, that's the Chargers.
Who did we just say?
The Colts.
I meant the Chargers. The Colts. Yeah, you're right. They did
Jacob
take Eason.
Eason.
Yeah, they took Eason. Yeah. Because I was thinking of the Chargers at number 4. Because I was thinking of the other top quarterback.
Chargers were
at 6, right?
They took Herbert.
Because I was thinking of the other top quarterback that came.
But the thing, Oregon quarterbacks,
Yeah, right. The Colts will be all right. I think they needed to draft a quarterback. Rivers probably only has 2 years left.
I give them 2 years.
The Chargers, I think, had a good move with, speaking of
Herbert.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, Oregon quarterbacks.
But they needed to, so it didn't they needed to just take whoever was there.
I think of Kellen Clemens. I think of Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, but like I said, they needed to just take whoever was there. They needed a first round quarterback. It really didn't matter. You know what I mean? They couldn't wait to the later rounds and then start a guy. They could have
traded back. They could have traded back and got Love.
Yeah. Or they couldn't have if anybody would have known what was going through Green Bay's mind. I really don't get it.
That was.
Yeah, I really don't get it.
A lot of people are saying Rodgers should have made a trade, but he can't. That contract.
No, he's not.
His contract, he's due to make $40 million or something.
He's not going anywhere. Not yet, anyway. Maybe in a couple of years, but he's not going anywhere yet.
You know what I thought was hilarious about the draft? The GMs and the coaches look like they could give a shit less half the time. They have
really? I didn't think so.
It looks like they have their families there. They
they were doing other things. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't stand the whole family thing. Half the kids looked like they didn't even want to be there. It was so forced. It was like
a lot of people. That was one of the big reviews that people liked, was that the kids, they saw the engage.
In the beginning, yeah, but then after a while, it was like half the kids didn't want to be there. But like there were some, like Brian Flores, Miami Dolphins head coach, and his kids. Like his kids were like engaged in it. They looked like they were having fun. But there were some, I forgot who it was, where like the kids were kind of just standing there, like, "Can I leave now?" And it was, and off camera, the father was going, I want the family here. Do it on TV. I want everybody here. You know what I mean?
You gotta be on it. It makes us look good. It's
Right,
it's
exactly.
about image.
Yeah, we're in the house all day. I want 5 minutes together.
The fucking they didn't look stressed. It didn't look like they had like a
Yeah.
crazy war room set
No,
up.
no, no.
It's
No,
like
everybody was
awesome.
kind of just hanging out.
They-
It looked like they preferred it this way.
It looked like it looks like
And it
when
went faster.
I looked like it looked like I would be more stressed doing a fantasy draft than Madden.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what the
100%.
fuck-
100%.
I was like,
Yep.
they were like, and then the coaches. The best part, Belichick wasn't even there. His dog was in the
Right.
bench. Then
Yeah, I forgot about his
Then
dog.
Belichick walks over, brings his dog a treat, and like walks away. It's like,
I
oh,
know.
there's the genius at work.
Yeah. Screw him. Screw him. I'm glad they didn't get a quarterback, but honestly, Andy Dalton or Cam Newton going there scares me. So, because my opinion, if the Patriots, and if anybody can do it, it's the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, can get Cam Newton to settle in the pocket and play pocket quarterback, oh man, he's going to be so dangerous because the arm on that kid is still outrageous.
That's what I've been saying too. About I don't get why they don't take Newton. That makes
I
sense.
think it's either going to be him or it's Dalton. I think that's really it.
If not, they're going to go with Hoyer.
Or they ride with Hoyer, but I don't. Where else is Cam going to go? So that was my question
weird.
before.
Isn't it a little weird that took his team 15-1? They finished a former MVP, first overall
That's
pick.
what happens when you don't dive on a fumble in the Super Bowl. That's it. That's what happens. That's what happens when that's the type of player you are. That's the way your career goes. Yeah, but still, he's talented. He's been injured a lot lately. I mean, listen, I don't think he's worth a huge risk. I really don't. I didn't want him in Miami, but like I said, if he can play pocket quarterback and stop wearing women's clothes, then I think he would be good for New England.
Yeah, that shit drives me crazy.
But my question before was, name teams that have quarterback controversies or quarterback problems right now. There really are none.
Let's look at it from division.
So I know of two that you can kind of say.
Well, let's go division by division. AFC East, Patriots.
Right.
That's it from the AFC East right now.
That's it. Who would have thought you'd be saying that?
Yeah, it's true. I thought 2 years ago it could have been all of them except the Patriots.
Yeah.
Then AFC South. Who we got?
Falcons.
No, AFC.
Oh, AFC South. The Jaguars.
Texans are good. Jaguars. Yeah,
They still have Minshew, but we could say that he's not.
Did they draft a quarterback?
No.
Ooh, they're going with the stash. I would just say Jaguars and AFC North.
I'd say nobody there.
Right now. Because of Rivers.
Yeah.
AFC West.
The Chargers just drafted a quarterback.
They just drafted a guy 6 overall.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So, nope. That's what I'm saying. This is the first time in a while where really nobody really has quarterback problems. So far, we have one team, Jacksonville.
In New England.
In New England, right. We have two teams.
NFC South.
The NFC South, I say Atlanta because you don't know what's going to happen with Matt Ryan. I thought they were going to draft a quarterback this year.
I wouldn't call that they have.
I'm saying I think it's that much of an issue that I think that I wouldn't have been surprised if they drafted a quarterback.
What's the big issue with Ryan?
When has he won anything? He went to the Super Bowl and lost 28-3. Couldn't score in the second half at all.
Yeah, but I'd still say that he's
another one. He's another one. He doesn't win there soon. He's gone within the next 2 to 3 years.
That's
maybe sooner. Maybe sooner.
Yeah, well, 2-3 years. I think
sooner. If he doesn't win next year, they may look to get rid of him, dude.
But I'm saying, I don't think that qualifies as a quarterback.
He's also older.
How old is he? 30,
if you can draft Aaron Rodgers' replacement, you can draft Matt Rodgers' replacement.
Matt Rodgers.
Matt Rodgers. See, I just combined them. Matt Ryan.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's the thing now. You fucking.
But then again, you can't compare that because
unless this guy Jordan Love turns out to be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, so my father's a Packer fan, and my father's been saying it for weeks. He's like, listen, I know as a Packer fan that I'm going to have probably a good run where we're not going to have a quarterback. And that's fine because there's no way that they're going to hit on a quarterback 3 times in a row because they did it from Brett to Aaron. They're not like for them to be able to do it again is rough. Possible. And then they did this. So I don't know what's going to happen now.
This is a lot of people were high on Love, but just and almost if there's a situation where it makes like no sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That made like the least amount of sense out of anything we saw. Trading up to draft him behind Aaron Rodgers when you were 1 win away from the Super. They finished 13-3.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I know. 1 win away from the Super Bowl. I know
that made the least amount of sense out of anything. And if any other situation, if he got drafted to, probably would have been like Atlanta.
Yeah, right. Even a lot more sense. So keep going through the division. You don't agree with me on the Atlanta, but that's okay.
And
the Panthers,
Teddy B.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I keep forgetting that they have Teddy B.
They just signed him, right?
I know. Yeah. I thought they were going with the kid from last year, but that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, I would say that they are.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
2 years.
Yeah, they have a quarterback. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's it in that division.
NFC East.
NFC East.
Redskins.
No, they just drafted a quarterback last year. You can't throw in the towel yet. They are mismanaging the shit out of that. That's their own fault.
That's
their own fault. That's not Dwayne Haskins' fault. Right. That's the Washington Redskins' fault.
I'll give you that one.
We'll see what happens with Ron Rivera there now. The culture should change.
So NFC East is pretty good then.
Yeah.
NFC East.
I'd say, honestly, the NFC East, the biggest quarterback controversy right now, Dak Prescott wanting to be paid.
I was going to say that. Yeah, I agree. I don't think, he's not worth $40 million a year.
No,
how much does he want to get?
He's not worth $40 million a year.
Should have accepted 30. 30 million.
He's worth my foot up his ass. That's about it.
Look, I think one of the offers they gave was $30 million a year.
Yeah, and he turned
That's
it down.
what he's worth. That's it.
He's not that good. He's worth less than that, realistically.
Especially they didn't make the playoffs. If you're $40 million a year, you better pick up the team, carry them into the playoffs by yourself.
Agreed. You better not fold. You better not fold after going 3-0 and playing 3 of the worst teams in the NFL. And you better not fold when Ezekiel Elliott starts.
One of those teams was the Jets.
One of those teams was also the Dolphins. And
yeah.
Yeah. And you better not fold when Ezekiel Elliott's not on the field. That's it. He can't.
No $40 million.
No way. So keep going.
NFC North. Get the Bears. The Bears got 2 guys that are kind of like.
Yeah, they have a quarterback controversy because they have 2 guys. One guy.
Foles is the perfect backup.
His best days are behind him, and he's not that good. And the other guys, his worst days are ahead of him, and he's not that good.
The thing is, Foles is the perfect guy to back him up.
Yeah, but Mitch isn't the perfect guy to start. That's the problem.
I know, but Foles is a guy that could be a backup, but could also step in. But he's fine being a backup.
Starter sucks, which is the perfect case. So Chicago. So we got New England, Chicago,
Jacksonville. And the NFC West is the last one.
Seahawks, Rams.
All good. Niners are good.
Who's the other team in that division? And they just got what's his name? Kyler Murray. I'm curious to see how he continues. So there's only 4 teams: New England, Jacksonville, Chicago, and
that's it.
New England, Jacksonville, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's kind of like.
And Chicago has and think of it this way: Chicago has a quarterback that they're ready to go into the future with. Jacksonville has a quarterback that they're ready to go into the future with. New England is the only team in the league right now that really doesn't have a quarterback for the future.
And who's available?
Andy Dalton by trade
and
Cam Newton.
Those are the only 2 available.
Those are the only 2 I could think of.
Yeah, who's gonna take Cam Newton? This is crazy.
Nobody else needs a quarterback. Where else should he go? Everyone else has a quarterback they're riding into the season.
What do you think?
Except New England.
What do you think? Where do you think he's going to end up? He's got to end up somewhere.
He can only end up. Where else is he going to go? He's not going to back up.
New England might not.
He's going to sit out the season before he backs up. I'll tell you that right now.
He's not going to back up. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. But this is just crazy. To me, it's crazy. that he's like 29. He's not even 30. I don't even know. He's fucking in his prime. He's in his prime.
He's not in his prime. He's past his prime.
For him, he
Past
should
his prime.
be. He
And
should. He should be entering his
because of
prime.
the injuries. Part of it is also because of the injuries that he's past his prime. But he is definitely past his prime. He will never be as good as he once was, which is why he needs to be a passing quarterback. If he could sit in the pocket and be a pure pocket passing quarterback, say that 5 times
His
fast.
accuracy is suspect.
Yeah, but if he can sit in the pocket and not try to run around and not try to – dude, I'm telling you, he's good enough where if he could be a pocket passer, he's going to be dangerous, especially he's so big. Dude.
As much as
Imagine if he could become Ben Roethlisberger.
as scary of a thought of him in New England would be, I would like to see him in New England.
He could become Ben Roethlisberger.
He's got to be in the right situation.
Ben isn't as mobile as Cam. Cam needs to play more like Ben at this point in his career.
I would like to see him. I would like to see him in New England.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, I wouldn't, but
that would
like
be miserable. That would be miserable.
But as a whole, taking my fandom away from it for football as a whole,
because it would fill in the last piece of the NFL.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be, hopefully they have the fucking season kicks off when it's supposed to kick off.
Right, that's a good point too.
I think it's gonna kick off. It's football, and they can show football. They got some time.
I think worst case scenario, it's delayed 2 weeks. That's what I think. I think worst case scenario, the season starts in the middle of September. I think we get
but no fans. I don't think there's gonna be fans for.
I think we get no less than a 12-week season. I'll put it that way.
This year it's gonna be 7 teams each conference. Yeah,
that was the plan. Oh, 7 teams each conference. Yeah, I thought you were saying 17 games. No. Yeah, it's going to be 7 teams each conference, which I think is stupid. Over 40% of the league now makes the playoffs. That's dumb.
I don't know. I'm kind of like I could take it or leave it.
It was fine the way it was before. The only thing
it was fine, but they added 1 game each.
The only thing they improved by doing that was that only 1 team from each conference gets a bye week now. That's the only thing that improved.
We get more football.
What they should have done is they should have made the playoffs be reseeded after the regular season so that you can't have teams like the Seahawks did when they went 7-9 and won their division and then had a home game because they were
the Saints
and beat the Saints. Yeah, that's retarded.
Beast run. That was the fucking.
Anyone offended by that, but yeah, that's dumb.
The Beastquake.
Yeah, right. The Beastquake game. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like that should never happen. So what it should be is they should have been the last seeded team. They should have been given a playoff berth because they won their division, but then it should have been reseeded, and the Saints probably should have been the 3rd or 4th seed.
I wouldn't mind open reseeding and just open seeding between both conferences.
What do you mean? Like combining?
But I guess it wouldn't make sense because.
Yeah, I think I get where you're going with it, and I hate it.
Yeah, because if AFC team's 10-6 doesn't make the playoffs, but a team 8-8 makes the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, you can't. They can't.
You can't do it. You gotta have conference. You gotta have conference integrity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think if you reseed it after the regular season, you do it 1 time.
I agree. I'm good with that.
That's it. But other than that, I don't like that 14 out of 32 teams are making the playoffs.
That's weird. Only one team gets the bye. That's.
I like that. You know what's going to be even weirder when they do 17-week seasons. And
I don't do that. I leave it 16.
It's so dumb. It has to be an even number because now no one can finish 500.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, even that doesn't. I just think it's fine. 16 games.
I hate that. You can't go 8-8.
No, 9-8.
You can't go 500 anymore. Nah, I don't like that.
You can go for 8-1.
What other league has uneven games? Has an odd number of games? None.
The XFL had only had 5.
Yeah, the XFL was also in test mode.
Like you said.
82 games in the NHL, 162 games in football.
College football. 15 games they could have. They don't know how many games they're gonna have.
Yeah, they don't even know how many teams they have in college football.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with 16 games and the 7 teams on each side. I think I'm cool with that. One team.
Yeah, then give me 2 more expansion teams then. Even it out. You can't have half the league making. I think it's like 46% or something like that.
You must hate the NBA playoff format.
Yes.
The NBA, I think it makes because the
NBA playoff format and the NBA playoff scheduling are the worst in sports.
I agree. Yeah, the playoff scheduling is like ridiculous. They have like they could
2
be.
months.
Yeah, they give like 2 games, 2 days off every fucking time.
I know.
It's three days off.
Listen, nobody does it better than the NHL. That's it. Nobody does playoffs better than the NHL. And the NFL is not in this conversation because obviously they don't do series. They're once a week. So between the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball, nobody does playoffs better than the NHL.
The baseball I think doesn't make much sense either.
Baseball's playoffs are about to change too, and
they have 5 teams, 5 teams on each side. Now it just became 5, and they play 162 games. That's too many games to only have that.
They're changing it again. Did you see that they're changing it? That teams get to division winners get to choose which wild card team they want to play against, and they're trying to make it like.
Oh no!
Yeah,
No!
Yeah. It's crazy. Look into it.
It sounds retarded.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. You can't pick the fucking team you play against.
That's so because they want to make it more geared towards like millennials and like reality TV and
baseball's struggling now. They became it's like the third sport in America.
Well, they're going to change the rules enough where they're going to kill it for me if they really go forward with some of the stuff that they're doing. And I love baseball.
I agree with the stuff they did as far as like the change of pace, make it a little bit more.
To a certain extent.
Even that is kind of like because.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Baseball is what it is. Listen, you can't speed up the game. That's why there's no clock. You know what I mean? That's why we play innings. We don't play quarters. We don't play periods. We don't play timed anything because it's innings. We're playing baseball. We're not playing anything else. So stop trying to change the game.
Yeah, leave it. It's a pastime. Leave it as it is. Are you watching the Last Dance?
So I haven't watched it yet. So I'm a big binge guy. So I would like.
Are you DVRing it and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm DVRing it right now.
Yeah, I'm DVRing it right now too as we speak. Episodes 3 and 4.
You didn't watch last week's stuff?
Nope.
Oh shit! So I don't feel too bad about it. I want to watch everything
like straight through. I mean, I kind of know anyway. All the stories are out there. It's all over social media and everything. But like, it's not, and a lot of it isn't stuff that like we didn't know before. It's just kind of like more specific stuff that we're learning.
I know. It's like we know what's going to happen at the end of the movie. They're going to win the championship.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to retire and come back in a few years.
Right. That's like, spoiler alert, at the end of Lincoln, he dies.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. But honestly, man, it's great. It was great.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I've been watching a bunch of stuff. I've been binging. I never actually watched Seinfeld. We're going completely off topic now. I hope you don't care. But I've never actually watched Seinfeld from like the first to the last episode. So I'm in the middle of doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. I watched Venom, the movie Venom last night. That movie was awesome. I really liked it a lot.
I gotta watch that.
First 30 minutes is really slow. You got to really push through it. I was really close to turning it off. But once he becomes Venom, the movie actually really picks up. It's pretty funny.
Have you seen Love is Blind?
No. Did I kill your momentum there?
No, I just knew you. I'm like, I fucking really got into the fucking show.
What is it? Oh, that's that show.
Show on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but yeah, I know it's like some stupid like dating show that you don't meet the person or something, right?
You propose without seeing the person.
Oh, you propose even better.
You have a date. You have a date through a pod. You have a blind date through a pod.
Through a pod. Like they're in a pod and you're in a pod.
Yeah, and you could just talk and be like, "So what do you like to do?" And then the girl's like, "Well, I like to I play sports, but I'm like, I'm not a. I'd like to travel, like everybody says, all this shit. And then
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
I really
yeah.
got along with this
My
person.
name's Cindy. I like long walks on the beach and Zachary's under the sun.
It's good TV though. It's good. And then there's another. Too Hot to Handle was another reality show.
Too Hot to Handle. I never heard of
It's
that
on
one. Now,
Netflix. You have Netflix?
actually, that's funny. Yeah, I have Netflix. That's funny because I'm also watching The League right now. I don't know if you remember The League, the
Oh
TV show,
yeah,
but
that was the
I
one.
love that show. So I'm like showing it to my father because it's just so funny, and I fully recommend it for anyone out there, not just football fans, because it really has nothing to do with fantasy football. It's just a bunch of assholes being assholes to each other.
Yeah, the guy jerks off
It's
to his
hilarious.
fantasy team.
But yeah, it's called roster baiting, actually.
Roster baiting. We've all been there.
Yeah, so like I'm in the middle of watching that. I love The League. Yeah, I mean, just quarantined. Found out today actually that I'm going to be one of the first people to go back to work when New York does open back up, according to the mayor and governor.
So is there a timeline now?
Well, New York is on a pause until May 15th, and then there'll be obviously a reevaluation before that. But as of right now, the CDC guidelines are instructing the state and the city to not start reopening until we see 14 consecutive days of a decline in hospitalizations, which we've already seen a bunch of decline days. I don't know how many consecutive, but I do know that they're not opening until there's 14.
That makes me nervous.
But they also did say that essential construction where people can work safely and essential businesses will start to open back up after we hit that 14 days. So essentially, I could be going back to work after May 15th.
Yeah, that's.
I'm a construction superintendent for anybody listening that doesn't know. So I run construction sites in Manhattan.
So if you need a
mostly.
superintendent, we got a super one.
Yeah, exactly. And they call me, obviously I'm a super for short, so I'm pretty super.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's cool. I didn't know you were superintendent now.
Yeah, I worked my way up. Yeah, so like I run job sites in
You
Manhattan.
think you know someone, you don't even know.
Mostly like office renovation type construction, but yeah, I'll be back at work because that's the type of work that we could do safely. And a couple of my job sites are like close to being done. We're also working in like occupied office spaces, so they're smaller jobs. We don't have that many guys there, so I could go back to work and be safe. I have no problem with that. I don't want to go back right this second, but let's see the decline. Let's,
Right, yeah.
They want to see a light at the end of the tunnel before they make any decision on anything.
It just gets me.
You can't keep it closed forever.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been that. In reality, it hasn't been that long.
In the grand picture of things, it's been a long time. It has.
It hasn't.
Yes, it has. In the grand picture.
What is long? What is long? In the grand picture of what?
In the grand picture of society and economics, it has been a long, long time to have 85% of the country out of business.
So the Dark Ages would disagree with you.
Yeah, but they also didn't have the technology, and it was completely different. You can't compare.
Well, that's because we have this technology. It shouldn't be that much of a big deal to keep carrying out.
The only reason why we're able to even sustain the economy at this point is because we have this technology. If we didn't have this technology, we would already be eating bread off the street. Because these are the only businesses that are like open. This is the only revenue generating anything into the economy is basically tech companies and Amazon and things like that. If those companies didn't exist, this whole country would be under right now.
Yeah,
We'd for sure be already in a Great Depression, without a doubt. Because the only industry that would still be really kicking would be the food and medical, and that would be it. And the medical is overwhelmed. We already know that.
food, medical, logistics.
Yeah, but that's really it. And logistics would be taking a huge hit because remember, we're talking about if we didn't have this technology.
People would need to get paid and stuff.
Right. But that's really it.
That
Technology is the only thing that saved us from going completely
of
bankrupt
course.
as a country.
But we have it. And then to me, it's still in the grand scheme of things, It hasn't with 2000. It's year 2020. Humans have been around for a couple of tens of thousands of years. It's
Yeah, I
been a
know,
fucking couple of weeks.
but we can't keep. No, I agree with you as far as like survival and should we be able to deal with this? Absolutely, I am. I agree with you there. But as far as sustaining an economy
Oh,
and
yeah,
a way
it's all
of
bullshit.
living, and
It's
it's
all
not all
man.
bullshit.
It's all man.
It is. Yes, I agree with you. It's all man-made. I'm with you.
Speculation.
Dude, I am with you. I don't agree. This is not the way we should be living our lives. This is all man-made years ago. We were all molded and formed and brainwashed to live in this society that we made ourselves and people think is normal. It's not normal. I'm with you there. But the reality of the situation is this is the way we live. This is the way we sustain our life. And this is the way
For now.
our world is run.
Until the second Renaissance.
Until the second Renaissance. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
That's what's gonna happen.
When? Soon?
I don't know. Yeah, relatively soon. Soon.
So are you being specific, or are you just saying generally there is going to be a second Renaissance and the world's going to change again? Because I agree with that. There always is.
I think it's gonna happen.
You know, there always is. The Industrial Revolution. We're kind of in the middle of like a the age of technology right now. You know.
This shit is crazy though. The
itself.
technology thing is some of it's getting crazy. There's these chips. Everybody's talking about chips and people now.
Yeah, I know. Bill Gates wants to vaccinate all of us so that he can start putting things in our body. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
Psychopath. He's a psycho. Bill Gates is a psycho. Matt Groening's a time traveler. How you doing? I'm Ronnie. Nice to meet you. These are my beliefs.
Yeah. Dude, you're probably in a big minority a few years ago, but now that's getting closer to the majority. People.
What, Matt Groening?
Bill, yeah, but also Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is a bad man.
You really think that?
Yeah.
Are you an anti-vaxxer?
That's not the only reason why Bill Gates is a bad man. And no, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think it makes perfect sense for children to have vaccines, but I think adults don't need them. I think the point of a vaccine is for your immune system to build up some type of immunity and be able to fight off these things that we're getting vaccines for. And like everybody knows, vaccines are a little bit of the, disease or virus or whatever the hell they're giving you. So if you get it as a child, your immune system should be good enough to beat it, right? Ask me when the last time I got a flu vaccine was or flu shot. I have no idea. Ask me when the last time I got the flu was. I have no idea because I don't need it. I got it when I was a kid. It was introduced into my immune system. My immune system learned how to fight it off. I'm sure I didn't get it once. I don't remember, however many times my mother made me get it because it was mandatory in order to go into school every few years when we were kids. In order to get into kindergarten, in order to go into public school, you had to have a flu shot. You had to show proof
you need
and papers
the
of
certificate.
vaccination.
And then more
Right.
shots.
So I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I do, and I don't believe all the conspiracy, like all the, the ADD and stuff like that. I don't believe all that stuff, but I try not to. No, I don't believe that has anything to do with vaccines.
It's interesting. I was talking to somebody.
I think we do a lot more harmful stuff to our body. Like, how about the things we eat? And I don't mean junk food. I mean chemicals that our food is being made with.
Right, yeah. That's a whole nother thing.
Cancer's on the rise. All different types of cancer. Why? Because we're putting things in our body that our body cannot naturally break down or deal with. It's not food. It's chemicals. It's poison.
Yeah.
We're essentially poisoning ourselves for the length of our lives, and then just
we're doing it in order to produce things on a grander scale,
which makes no sense because
Agreed.
We already have a surplus of food. We pay farmers not to make food, and we have homeless people not eating. So none of that really makes sense.
I do.
And I'm not for the socialist idea that people should hand out money, but I am for the idea of when we have a surplus of food, maybe we don't need to chemically make food, and maybe we don't need to pay people to not produce stuff. But it comes down to the dollar, and that's the only reason why, obviously.
What is absurd when you go to a grocery store, there's the regular food and there's the organic food. Shouldn't everything be fucking organic?
Is it really, though?
That's the thing, too, yeah.
Anymore?
I was just talking to my girl about that.
Is anything really organic anymore?
Yeah, the organics become like buzzword.
Right, it is. It's a huge
It's a marketing thing.
buzzword.
Now.
You're right. And to me, all organic really means is not as bad. It's really all
Still
it
better.
is.
It's still likely.
And
Still
right,
likely better, but
it's better and twice the price. So I can live.
that's what's bullshit. That's
Right.
that's
So if I take care of myself, I could live to 95 and eat normal chemical Monsanto food. Or if I take care of myself, I'll have to spend more money and I could live to 96 eating quote unquote organic food. Yeah, it's not going to make that much of a difference in anyone's life.
I think what I would like at some point is to be able to have a piece of property where I could just get my own shit,
Yeah.
my own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's ideal, but it's probably not going to happen. There's a reason.
Why are you crushing on why are you squashing my
I
dream?
don't mean for you. I don't mean for you. I meant when because I said that's ideal, and I mean like that's ideal for most people, but it's probably not going to happen for most people. And my point of that is, why do you think they don't teach us, how to grow vegetables?
Hey, yeah, that should be part of basic education.
They don't teach you how to grow vegetables in school. They give you some seeds and tell you, hey, go plant, a flower with your mother for Mother's Day, and that's about it. They don't teach you how to take care of yourself.
And this, I think, when these ideas become more prevalent to the point where it's being applied to society, this is going to be the second renaissance. Things like this.
Yeah, but I think
when we have, maybe not to the extent where I'm saying everybody grows their own stuff, but where food is food again.
Self-dependent.
Yeah, or not even like self-dependent, but like community dependent.
Right.
And people, because that's what
more like animals.
We're like animals.
More like animals, like you said, community dependent.
Yeah.
Like your natural instincts.
Right.
A human's natural instinct isn't to be alone.
Just like taking the technology that we have now, advancing that, but also hitting a reset on a lot of shit that is.
But the problem with that is that there's here's another buzzword. There's too many sheep that are just going to blindly follow the agenda.
That are going to get the chip.
Right. That are going to get the chip. There's too many sheep that are becoming communists in exactly what's going on right now. I don't know if you heard about it.
They're just like, okay.
Mayor de Blasio wants people to call up and rat on people.
That got shut down. That got shut down. They sent them too many dick pics.
Oh, did it?
And Hitler.
Oh, well, people were doing it. They had
some people definitely were.
700 complaints from Staten Island.
You're a scumbag. If you did that, you're a scumbag.
That's a communist
fuck
fucking country that operates that way.
Yeah,
that's a communist way of. That's crazy. And there's too many people who will blindly do things like that. The loud minority, I fear, is not going to be loud enough to get things where we need to get them. I think we're headed down a very, very bad path, and I don't want to get political because I really, really hate talking about it, just because I don't, the state of politics right now and the way people deal with it. That's my biggest problem with it. But I'm just going to say this, if we didn't have who we had as president right now, there would be no disruption to the system that's been in place for decades. And right now, that's our best bet for that second renaissance. That not for the second renaissance, but heading in that direction. And I don't mean Trump specifically. I just mean disruption to the system.
You're saying if we had
no one else was going to disrupt the system the way he did.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Is there were too many people who were going to blindly follow. So to have someone that's just so blatantly going to go against and so blatantly going to speak out against what's been in place for so long.
Right.
I think that's how you head the other way. Now, I don't think November is going to be a problem for him, but I think what happens in 2024 is going to be interesting.
It's going to be, I agree with that. 2024 is going to be...
2024 is going to be life-changing because of the Donald Trump presidency. Donald Trump's presidency is going to have more of a lasting effect because of what happens in 2024 than anything else. That's what I think.
It's kind of that's interesting though too.
Because by 2024, I honestly believe there may not be a Democratic Party. They may not be the
That's
second,
not that far away. It's only 4 years away.
and they are losing a lot of support. There's a lot more independent being independent is becoming a lot more of a popular thing. Being left or right,
People predominantly have been independent. It's just
right.
but
And
when they vote,
but I think the quote independent party or the Green Party or whatever is going to become the majority next to the major party next to the Republicans. I think the Democrats, if they don't correct some things
that's
soon,
because they keep rigging the elections to get the
right?
guys.
Well, this November is going to kill them.
Yeah,
Biden's going to kill them.
Biden's.
They're already talking about that he's already playing towards the crowd, and he's probably going to wind up having a black woman as his running mate just to please people. And I, would that be great? Yes, yes, only because of I don't know.
Michelle Obama?
No, not Michelle Obama. There was someone else. But like, yes, that title sounds great. Fine, first woman, black woman vice president, first woman vice president. That's awesome. But if those are the only reasons that it's happening, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't care who you are, what you look like, what you have between your legs. If you qualify, you qualify.
As long as you have a cock and balls, because only a man can run this country to the ground.
Yeah, but I don't know. This conversation went from the NFL draft
some other shit to some other
play. Yeah,
we're starting a fucking renaissance on Tony Talks.
That's right.
Holla at your boys.
They call me Ronnie Renaissance.
Bro, do you have any other draft notes that you want? Because I know you had some stuff written down. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to talk about?
No. I'm good. I wanted to talk about the Broncos, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets. We covered that. Packers. Yeah, we're good.
And I think it's nice now that when this conversation started, and you could see into my webcam here, it was light out.
Yeah, it got really dark.
And
Yeah.
I am surrounded by dark.
I noticed.
It's now. I don't have the light on.
It looks like you're in night. Honestly, it looks like we're in night vision goggles. I'm looking at night vision goggles. That's what it looks like.
I was going to say that. What do you call it? So, yeah, I'm good. We're like over an hour and change in.
I'm good.
What's your social media stuff? Put it out.
Yeah. So check me out on Instagram. Used to do podcasts. You could go check out the podcast I used to do. We did some really great interviews. I was really happy with what we did. Not with them anymore. Whatever, no big deal. But you could follow me on Instagram at Ronnie_media, Ronnie Media. Check me out. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro. Of course, always a pleasure. This was the
third time.
I came on your last show and it didn't record. You came
on first. Well, let's take it back to the beginning, right? Because first, 2 years ago, yeah, Liberty Shaman Network was all you. You came to me, and we wound up doing it together. And then
that's what she said.
You traveled the world, went to Diddy's New Year's Eve party, ate some burgers from Salt Bay.
Oh God, I forgot about that. This guy was so weird.
And then you were in like Indonesia or some shit, and we just couldn't get the timing right for the podcast anymore. Then I started doing the We the Fans Network, which is a sports podcast. Shout out to Boomer and Mike. You came on the second episode of that, and it didn't record.
And then you came on this one like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, a week ago.
And whatever it was, it recorded, but the audio.
The audio was no good.
That's why I'm using Zoom from now on.
Yeah.
No more. I'm not going to say it. Skype.
No free ads here.
Bill Gates, you scumbag. Yeah. That's the reason why we hate you.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Screw him. Yeah. And then that didn't work. And then I was supposed to come on another time, and I fell asleep.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. And then this time.
Right. And then this time I said House 7.
I was like, okay.
Good. And then
the time zone. I'm in fucking Texas. You're in New York. You almost fucked it up again.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 hours.
No, it's 1 hour.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 1 hour. It's like the next state over. The next state over, it becomes 2 hours. New Mexico.
Really? Because when I was in Colorado, it's 2 hours, isn't it?
Colorado's 2 hours. Texas is 1 hour. Texas is Central Time Zone.
I gotta look at a map.
Yeah. I was surprised too. I thought when I fucking first came.
But yeah, so I fell asleep, and then this time we said 7 o'clock. I meant 7 Eastern. You meant 7 Central,
Yeah.
and we wound up coming on at 8:30.
When you messaged me an hour beforehand, I was like, because I wasn't getting notifications on my phone for some reason. And then when I checked it, I was like, oh fuck, he probably was texting me because he thought that we were.
And I forgot you weren't even here too. Honestly, I forgot you weren't in New York. So
yeah,
that's whatever. We made it happen this time. Hopefully, this one gets released.
yeah. No, this will be out.
All right, cool.
Yeah, good shit. As always, go fuck yourselves.
Let's go Dolphins, baby. Let's go Tua. I'll be your number 1 fan, kid.
Let's go Dolphins. Go Tua. But more importantly, let's go Jets.
Yeah, right.
Start of it.